the notion he thought LeBron was probably going to still be there and they were still going to be an elite team. LeBron kind of threw a curveball to us when he went to the Lakers. When he came back to Cleveland and won that one championship, we all thought that, okay, he's back and he's not going anywhere. He's going to retire as a Cavalier without going on this journey again to enhance his brand or go chase another ring. But we saw how everything unfolded and he ended up leaving. So now, like you said, today, Kevin Love is playing on a Gatorade team.
Yeah, a Gatorade
pretty much.
high school All-American team.
Right.
I mean, because you got Sexton. That's how young this group is. And then you got a coach like John Beilein who is taking his first professional job and he's making this so simply bad. I mean, okay, case in point. And this is what really got to me. There was a game. It was I want to say it was Saturday. I was actually watching this game. It was Philadelphia. I think it was Philadelphia and Cleveland. I think this was this past Saturday, where Kevin Love had a mismatch, and they would not throw it to the post. They would not throw it to the post to him. They ran a motion type offense where they wanted him to come out and give Sexton a pick,
right,
a screen. Why would you want to do that when you got a smaller guy on you? You got Ben Simmons on you. I mean, who is not exactly the smallest guy in the world, but he can't defend the post. Here we go again. A couple days later, they're playing OKC. He has Chris Paul guarding him.
Right, I would have fed him
Oh my
all day.
God! I mean,
that's a big mismatch.
Exactly. And then you see Beilein do this. He's pointing to him, talking about, "Go here."
Right.
And he's looking at Beilein like, "Are you an idiot? Are you stupid? Or do you not understand what I have in front of me?" And then you dribble to almost. I mean, you got bailed out by a foul, but you dribble to the.
Yeah, to that. Yeah, almost at the half court.
And then,
that was bad execution on the coach and Sexton part too, because you should be aware that, hey, I see my best player is posting up a 6'1" guard. I might need to throw this ball to him.
I mean,
I don't know what was going on in that play. I can understand him getting frustrated on that, because I would have gotten mad too, because he should have seen that. But again, Love want to get out of there. He wants to get out of there. I don't blame him. Trade him to Portland so he can be back near his hometown and help those guys out, because they are struggling big time too. I do like the Carmelo Anthony signing.
I do too.
And I think if you can get Love there, that would be great. But at the same time, I think they would have to give up. What's the name?
They had to give up McCollum.
Yeah, McCollum. C.J. McCollum. They had to give him up.
They had to give him up. You gave up Myers Leonard. You let him go in free agency.
Right.
He signed a big deal with Miami. You let him go, but you got another big man there, and he's not really producing like Myers Leonard did. You know.
No.
Myers Leonard was a guy who gave you 15 and 10, and then gave you a block and a half a game, as well as gave you a big man at the 3-point line who can shoot the three. So I mean, he can stretch out the floor. But
I agree.
When you got guys like C.J. McCollum and Dime dropping dimes, Mr. Dime piece himself, Mr. Dime piece himself,
Damian Lillard.
So when you got that backcourt, here's a guy that I'm going to play devil's advocate on this, and I want you to hear me out on this. What if? And I don't think this will happen. But what if you trade Draymond
And you definitely playing devil's advocate now.
Yeah, you trade Draymond, and you trade Marquise Chris. I mean, you've got Marquise Chris out of there now. You signed another kid. But if you had Marquise Chris, Draymond, trade him for Kevin Love, does that instantly make Cleveland a bit of a contender or a fringe contender with those two guys in there?
No, because I like Draymond. Draymond's more of a superstar role player. I can't see him being the figurehead of that franchise because he's gonna give y'all the garbage points. He's gonna give you the rebounds, the steals. He's gonna give you the intimidation factor. But as far as carrying the team, because like right now everybody's injured for Golden State, and you see they are still struggling with Draymond, but they are at least competing with him. I don't like that trade at all because one, Golden State's not gonna trade him because they're gonna get a very high draft pick in the 2020 draft to where they can compete for a championship again in 2021. So no, you can't trade Draymond.
That's why I was devil's advocate.
Draymond is the glue of Golden State. He's like the Murdoch to the Warriors, like Murdoch was to the A team. You got to have somebody like that to kind of keep you on the edge and keep you driven and going.
But you also had a guy like Harrison Barnes, who was your garbage guy, and you gave him up because you couldn't keep him. Well, he was a salary cap casualty, but
yeah, he was gonna get his money.
Yeah, he was gonna get his money one way or the other.
Right.
But do you think he's living to regret that? Even though he's got his money, he hasn't gotten a ring.
Wait,
I mean, he got a ring, but he hasn't got that dynasty type tag that's added to him that he should have gotten.
You know, all players have different motivations. Some people play for the ring, some people play for things. So you don't know if he's playing. He already has a ring, so now he could just make money. He probably satisfied with that one championship ring because you can't ever take that away.
True.
You could take all the money away from him. So I would say just do what's in your heart. But I think he's playing for the money because he's still with the Kings, and the Kings are nowhere near competing anytime soon. Now I could see toward the end of his contract that he might get shipped off. As he get older, he might want to go ring chasing again, and I could see that happening. And it could be a return to Golden State or go to the Lakers or the Bucks. Yes,
that almost happened this summer. You know, so I mean, and that's why I say, you know, I'm just throwing out different things there. I mean, because you look at the possibility of Klay Thompson coming back. You got Steph coming back. You know, that's your backcourt. And then we can get Draymond healthier than what he is right now, because, you know, he's not really healthy right now. Then you get that big man there that can play in that motion type offense, that can also shoot threes, like a Kevin Love, who's an actual stretch 4 and not a 5. Then
right.
So, you know, that's where I'm going with that. But we got some other things for you right now, but we're gonna segue into another part. Stay tuned. Yo, this is the Maine Event. You're listening to the Live by Terrence Network.
We have a great person we want to spotlight today. She's the CEO of Art Angel. We're going to welcome Valerie Eskridge on to talk to her about her journey as an artist. How you doing today, Valerie?
I'm great. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh, no problem. I'm glad to have you on, too. We just want to explore your world of art because there's a lot of people that might not know about the art world because we used to hearing about music and entertainment all the time. But I want to know, how do you view the world as an artist?
Well, I guess the best way I can describe it is like a child, you know, with like curiosity. And I see, you know, when I'm looking at something, I see, you know, shapes, colors, lines. Some things in my mind, you know, I use my imagination, so some things may be exaggerated. Like, this is how I look at life, you know, kind of in a whimsical, childish way almost. And that shows in my art a lot because I use a lot of bright colors and, you know, definitely use my imagination on an everyday basis, even when I'm not painting. So
So that's pretty much that's something that you were just born with. It's just come to you natural, like a sixth sense.
I think so, because from the earliest I can remember, I mean, all children are kind of into art, but, you know, few carry that with them into adulthood. And I would say, you know, when I was around age 10, I knew immediately, like, I was drawn to, you know, the painting show, The Joy of Painting by Bob Ross. And he started out with landscapes. And, you know, as I grew in my abilities, which I continue to grow now, you know, it's just something that I knew from an early age. It's kind of strange. I don't know. I just always knew that I liked art and that I didn't know that I was going to be that good at it, but I just continued to grow. So, yeah, I would say definitely I just kind of knew from the start that this is what I wanted to do. So, yeah.
Now, I know you mentioned Bob Ross as someone that inspired you to get into the art world. I know you also mentioned your father as well. He was a carpenter by trade. So how did he influence you and to continue to embrace and pursue art?
Well, I mean, you know, carpentry is an art, just like music and anything else. So, you know, he worked tirelessly for hours. I mean, that was also his career. But like, even when he would leave work, you know, he had a shop and he would build things, and, you know, it also was a little profitable for him because he would, you know, have a little side hustle where he would, you know, sell some things to people. And once he seen that I was interested in art, you know, we didn't really come from a lot of money. We were basically poverty. And so what he had was he would have, you know, scraps of wood and stuff. And so I would just paint on those. That's how I kind of started. I was like, he knew that I wanted to paint. And he was like, well, here, I got these. You can paint on those. And once he saw I was really serious about it, he actually built me a little art studio connected to his shop where he would work, you know. And so we would both be working. Every day after school, I would go out there. Every weekend, I would spend my whole weekend in the art studio and just working on my craft and listening to music and, you know, just being to myself. And, you know, that's how I kind of developed. And, you know, his work ethic, and my mom as well, it just kind of was instilled in me, I think, from the jump.
Now, what was your first painting? Do you remember your first painting?
My first painting, definitely I started in landscape, but like I said, I kind of developed as I learned more about more artists, because I don't really have a favorite artist.
Okay.
I just, you know, I don't really have a favorite style or a favorite medium either. I'm just an art fan. You know, I don't really limit myself to one particular thing. I try to dabble in many art styles and then different cultures of art too. And, you know, basically anybody who's brave enough to bare their soul and their art, they inspire me to keep doing, you know, and pushing and growing in my art craft. So
the world is your canvas. So what are some of the favorite things you like to paint or visualize before you put it onto a canvas?
I think my favorite thing at this moment has been my maternity body art, where I actually get to be a part of, you know, the baby's journey to this earth. Like, that is so special to me, you know, and the mothers will, you know, reach out to me with ideas, and then I'll build upon those, and the ones that they include their family in that, I love that, you know, dynamic there. And so those have been my favorite. I would say that would be my favorite thing right now to do. I love to do those.
Now, I know last year you got a lot of notoriety for a certain portrait that you did of R&B singer Sammy. What was that experience like, painting him and also actually giving him that painting for him to put up in his studio?
Oh my God, like, I'm getting chills just talking about it. Like, that was like I would say that was like the highlight of my art journey so far. Like, a good friend of mine, his name is Bad Wolf. You know, he actually knows Sammy, and I've been a fan since I was little. You know, he had the song that came out, I Like It, and I was always, like I said, a fan of music and art. So, I mean, you know, and then to see how, you know, I was really touched by his story and, you know, how the music industry had done him, and he's very, you know, he's a survivor and got through that and really reinvented himself. And so just a way to pay homage to him and the